Good afternoon. This is Monday, July 29th, 2019, and this is a continuation of Reforming the Torturers Report. And today's topic is respecting and honoring your animal nature. And it's very easy in this over-technicalized society where we're always living in these constructs, losing touch with nature. We lose touch with our own nature. And I know some of the meanest bullies are going to not want to listen to this, but when they're having a stroke or a heart attack at the age of 45, maybe they'll look back and regret that they didn't attend more closely to what I'm about to say here. So we are not machines, we're biological creatures, and made up mostly of water, and our organs are filled with microbes that are helping to keep our systems alive and functioning. We also excrete hormones and other glandular chemicals, and so we're just this constantly changing, adjusting petri dish. And so the problem with modern society is that it doesn't have a good biofeedback loop with our biological systems. We're surrounded with all this electrical circuitry, from wall sockets to TVs and cell towers and light poles, and on and on and on, computers, etc. And they are vibrating at a certain hertz, which is an electrical velocity of current. That's sort of a layman's term. My father's rolling over in his watery grave for my describing it that way. But our bodies vibrate at a different level of hertz naturally. And so just everything we do, everywhere we go, our bodies are constantly having to try to readjust back to balance and that stable current. And then there's the inundation of all the chemicals in our environment that are stressing our bodily systems out, and poor diet with a lot of artificial additives. And so we are constantly under a barrage. Layering over the top of that is our chaotic society, where we're surrounded by all this subliminal messaging that comes through all of our media, and all the mind control going on as well. To some extent, I think we are all mind controlled now by a lot of sinister stuff that's going down at the Pentagon and the deep state. And so some of us can make a conscious decision to just be aware of that and to honor and respect this amazing, miraculous biological work of art, which is our bodies and our minds and our circulatory systems and our lymph systems, our reproductive systems, our bones, our muscles, our blood. And some of us don't care enough about themselves that they're just willing to become sort of these robotic zombies, acting out the will of the deep state. And young people are particularly vulnerable because you all haven't had a chance to develop a value system and really separate yourself out as your own individual person with your own separate, authentic beliefs. And that takes time. And so I feel very regretful that my civilization at this time has put this terrible burden on you, these terrible obstacles, to stop you from becoming a fully fulfilled, well-balanced human being that's acting in healthy ways in the world. And the two things that differentiate men from women is the women have what is it, the XX, and the men have the XY, or is it the other way around? So, but we both have the X chromosome, all right? And there's aspects of maleness in all women, and there's aspects of femaleness in all men. And so when you're categorically assaulting and attacking a female, partly because she is a female, and hating the other gender for whatever reason you got brainwashed into, you're damaging a part of your own identity, and you're blocking off that side of yourself that makes a well-formed, well-balanced male, which is the ability to have compassion and be nurturing and loving. And so as you all get subsumed into this whole cabal of your minds just becoming adjuncts of the tech society, and you have these powerful hormones, you may have been victims of abuse, and so you have a lot of anger there at how you've been unfairly treated, and so you can easily default into rage. And rage is a kind of a refuge. It may feel good for a little while. It enables you to shut out and blank out on all the ways that you're feeling fearful and vulnerable and scared about your future and scared of not showing up as a man in the world and so forth. But rather than dealing with all those, you just seek refuge in your firewall of rage, and then you project that out on a target that really has nothing to do with what's going on with you. And that's a real problem, because as your brain is forming and you stay just locked down in that one emotion all the time, then the actual neurons and synapses in your physical biological brain just start locking down your brain into that modality. And it gets harder and harder to get out as you just allow yourself to go numb behind your wall of rage. And so this is a real problem, because if the instinctual biological reason why a male gets angry is traditionally he is doing so to protect his tribe, or it's the hunting cries as the bison is approaching him and he's hurling his spear. That's the proper use of rage, or defending the tribe from another tribe. But this sort of ritualization of rage, which is an extreme stressor of the hormones in your body, putting your body way out of balance. If you don't go out of rage, as our ancestor hunters and warriors would do, and go and relax around the fire and dance and hug your family and express sorrow for a hunter that was killed by the bison, and do all these other emotions to put your body back into balance, it's just going to build and build and become this very destructive biofeedback loop for your body. And as the years go by and you're incapable of doing anything but rage and hatred, that will start to work on your organs. In particular, your circulatory system is very stressed when you stay in a state of rage. And so, in a sense, you're committing slow suicide by just allowing yourself to be in this very negative, very destructive state of self-imposed and partly society-imposed unconsciousness. So for your good, I ask you to try to do something else for a while, and something that's good for you and healthy for you. And understand that you're assaulting me isn't personal. I know that. I have no anger towards you. I only feel sad that you have not had the tools that you need to learn this really, really important bit of information. Okay, so that's it for today. Take care of yourselves.